I want to talk about the genocide of Hindus in Bangladesh. Right now, Hindus in Bangladesh face unspeakable violence and persecution. In the past few days, Bangladesh has been a scene of chaos, especially for the Hindu community. Temples have been burned, homes have been looted, and innocent lives have been lost. This isn't just a series of isolated incidents. This is a targeted attack, a modern-day genocide against Hindus in Bangladesh. When mobs attack and desecrate holy sites, loot businesses, and kill with impunity, it's not just violence. It's an attempt to erase a people from their own land. Now, let me make one thing clear. Israel will not stay silent. While our Hindu brothers and sisters are under attack, we know all too well the pain of being targeted for our beliefs or facing violence simply because of who we are. The Jewish people have faced countless persecutions throughout history, and we know what it feels like to be abandoned by the world. This is why we will not abandon the Hindus of Bangladesh. Their pain is our pain, and their fight is our fight. The situation in Bangladesh is dire. The ousting of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has led to anarchy, with Hindus becoming the primary targets. In just the past week, temples have been set on fire in at least 27 districts, and Hindu homes and businesses have been looted. It's not just about property damage, it's about terrorizing a community, forcing them to flee their homeland and stripping them out of their dignity. What we're witnessing is nothing short of a genocide. There are horrific videos that are coming out of Bangladesh with angry Islamist mob surrounding homes of Hindus and trying to break in, Hindu girls tied up in the streets only because they're Hindu. And this isn't the first time Hindus have faced such horror in Bangladesh. The history of violence against Hindus in this region goes back decades, if not centuries. During the 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War, an estimated 2.5 million Hindus were killed by the Pakistani army and their Islamist collaborators. Israel, by the way, was one of the first nations to recognize the independent Bangladesh in February 1972. The world watched in silence as entire villages were wiped out, as Hindu men were slaughtered and Hindu women were raped. And yet here we are, over 50 years later, and the same evil is rearing its ugly head again. Back then, the world turned a blind eye to the suffering of Hindus in Bangladesh, just as it often turns a blind eye to the suffering of Jews in Israel. But today we say, no more. We will not allow history to repeat itself. Israel stands with Hindus, and we call the world to do the same. We are human beings before any religion, and we should remember that. Let me tell you something. This is not just about Hindus in Bangladesh. Radical Islamists have a long history of targeting non-Muslim communities across the world, and today Christians in Bangladesh are also under threat. Churches have been attacked, Christian homes have been looted, and believers have been brutally murdered. The radicals don't discriminate when they come to spread their hate. Anyone who doesn't agree to their twisted ideology is a target. The persecution of Hindus and Christians in Bangladesh is a reminder of the dangers of radical Islam. These extremists don't want diversity. They want dominance. They seek to impose their beliefs through violence, intimidation, and terror. And if we don't stand up against this now, it won't be just Hindus and Christians in Bangladesh who will suffer. It will also be other communities across the world. Here's the hard truth. The world often fails to act when minorities are under attack. We saw it during the Holocaust. We saw it in Rwanda, and we are now seeing it in Bangladesh. But Israel will not be silent. We know what it feels like to face horrors, and we will not stand by and watch our Hindu brothers and sisters being slaughtered. In India, the Hindu majority country, there is a deep respect and admiration for Israel. Our two nations share a bond that is built on shared values, mutual respect, and common struggle against terrorism and extremism. During Israel's wars and in times of conflict, Hindus have consistently stood by us, offering their support and solidarity. Whether it's in the UN or in the streets of New Delhi and other cities, the Hindu community has always had our back. And today, as they face their own war in Bangladesh, it's time for us to have theirs. As we are right now at war with Hamas, social media is flooded with messages of support from Hindus around the world. They held rallies and they made their voices heard in defense of Israel, in defense of our right to defend ourselves. They understood that the fight against radical Islamic terrorism is a fight that affects us all. And now when they are under attack, how can we remain silent? I will not be silent. So to the Hindus of Bangladesh and to the Hindus of India and Hindus everywhere, I say this: Israel stands with you. We see your pain, we hear your cries, and we will not let the world forget what is happening to you. The radical Islamists who seek to destroy you will not succeed. And to the world I say, open your eyes. The persecution of Hindus in Bangladesh is part of a broader pattern of violence against religious minorities that we cannot ignore. Today it's Hindus in Bangladesh, as it is Christians in Africa or Jews in Europe. But tomorrow it can be you. Silence in the face of evil is complicity. We cannot afford to be silent. If we don't speak out against the persecution of Hindus in Bangladesh, we are allowing radicals to win. And that is something I would never accept. So I urge you all, stay informed, speak out, support those who are fighting for their lives. Share this video, talk about what's happening, and let's make sure that the voices of the persecuted are heard loud and clear. And if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe to stay connected to the latest updates and analysis, because I believe together we can make a difference.